Can you formally now inaugurate the Presidential Campaign Council for the Presidential Campaign 2022-2023?
By the powers conferred on me as the acting national chairman, who is representing our national chairman, I hereby today inaugurate you as members of our Presidential Campaign Council today, January 28, 2022. I wish you all the best.
PDP power! Power to the people, PDP!
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me use this opportunity and privilege to ask everybody to sit down.
Any mouth that does not make a mistake is a witch. I'm not a wizard. So I want to correct the date. Today is 28 September 2022. Thank you very much.
My fellow Nigerians, let's give our vote to Atiku Abubakar for president.
His Excellency Senator Bala Mohammed, Vice Chairman North. His Excellency Dr. Ayu, National Chairman. Our presidential candidate, our vice presidential candidate, former vice president, acting BOT chairman, our director general is His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. His Excellency Dr. Leah Limoke is Deputy Director General Operations. Professor Oladipo, Deputy Director General Administration. High Chief Raymond Dokpesi, Deputy Director General Technical and Systems. His Excellency Okwesileze Nwodo, Deputy Director General Research and Strategy. I think others will get to know as we make further announcements and publications. Let me just start this acceptance speech, first of all, by appreciating all the stakeholders, the members of this great party, our party, the PDP. This is the only party that is termed as the largest party in Africa. This is one party that any unit you go in this country, you find PDP. So I really want to appreciate our party. Also thank the candidates, our presidential candidate for this confidence, and our party for the privilege for all of us to serve in this council. And I also want to thank all other members, the BOT, the National Working Committee. Few issues that we are sure will definitely lead to success. Number one, I want to say here that this campaign council, we have the seriousness that is required. If you look at the caliber of people, you know that we have that seriousness that is required. We'll do everything possible. And I want to assure you that as a campaign council, we also have the unity that is required to actually move us forward. Our duty is very simple. It is our duty to campaign, to carry the message, to publicize the message on how to rescue and restore the hope of Nigerians. It is for Nigerians to vote and for the Almighty to give victory. I want to say here that don't mind the doomsayers. I read everywhere all those doomsayers, PDP is this, PDP is that. I want to assure you that PDP is a solid rock. And if you know that no matter the wind on a rock, it does not move the rock. So irrespective of the wind that you see around the rock remains as solid as ever. So please, don't mind those doomsayers. We are here, we are very serious. We want to assure you that we are campaigning to win. And nothing is acceptable outside victory for PDP. But this will also require that all of us, we must also work. I recognize in particular that all of us, in this time around, there is no sitting in Abuja. Everybody will have to go back to carry the message home and make sure PDP is not an Abuja party. You win election from your unit to your ward to your constituency, not by sitting in Abuja. The President Campaign Council will take the message back to the units. And I want to make that appeal that please, I've reiterated this when I gave my first interview, that I want to once again reiterate that if we have made mistakes in the past, we cannot wind back the clock. We cannot recall what passed yesterday, but we can move forward in the spirit of oneness, unity, prosperity, and progress for our party and for the sake of this country. So all of us must join hands, distinguished party colleagues, leaders of our great party, ladies and gentlemen, we must move this party forward. And I want to say here that this council, we have the passion, and I keep saying so. Once the passion is right, nothing is impossible. I want to assure you that we have the passion, we have the vigor, we have the capacity, we have the character, we have the integrity, and above all, we have the love for our country, Nigeria. Because all this is about the love of our country, Nigeria. And I want to assure you that we will win. And looking at all that it takes us, so I hereby, with every sense of humility, accept this appointment to serve as the chairman of our party, the Presidential Campaign Council, and commit to working with all organs of the party by involving every significant component in the task of ensuring electoral victory for PDP come 2023. I want to say here, you cannot give what you don't have. What we have is what we give. The peace that we also radiate, the peace that we also stand for, the peace we bring to PDP, my peace I give to PDP. Thank you and God bless you all.
We thank His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the Chairman of the Presidential Campaign Council, for that very inspiring speech.
It is with humility and sense of purpose that I make these remarks as the Director General of the Campaign Council and which will serve as the vehicle to deliver the People's Democratic Party and its presidential flag bearer and his running mate to the Villa come May 29, 2023 by the special grace of God. Our chairman has spoken. All of us are going to hit the ground running, and we shall work collectively as a family and expeditiously to ensure the victory of our party. The party of the PDP, and indeed its candidate, is the party to beat in this election. It is only for us to work, and God on our side, we shall deliver this victory to our party and to Nigerians. We know the support that we enjoy in this country, and we appeal that INEC shall conduct free and fair elections. By so doing, victory, by the grace of God, is guaranteed for PDP. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and God bless you all.
We are on the roundup. Chinwe.
My friend, make you look your back, look your front, make you see better. Where they come up, Nigeria na corrupt place. When it corrupt president, Atiku Abubakar.
PDP.
Power to the people. And I truly thank God that today our presidential candidate stands very tall amongst all. He is one man that we can trust. He's one man that has the needed experience and the political will to turn things around. Because our nation is truly very sick. Our nation is truly very sick, and we cannot, even as our children did show to us this afternoon, we cannot try those who are not yet experienced enough to deal with the issues. If you are sick, you look for a very competent consultant. You don't go to the doctor who just graduated yesterday. Nigeria is truly very sick, and we are confident that PDP has brought the best drug at the moment, the best medication to take care of Nigeria. I'm proud to be one man who is lucky to work with somebody who we all know in Nigeria as a strong bridge builder, somebody who is ready to unite our Nigeria, and somebody who believes in the rule of law. I'm proud to work with a man who has the needed experience both in security and intelligence, and who is ready to take Nigeria from the depths of where we have found ourselves to the proper place that we ought to be, starting on the first day, May 29, 2023. You can only do this when you have the needed experience. The Nigeria of today cannot afford a president who will learn on the job. And therefore, we must be proud as a party because we have presented the best. And we are glad as a party to speak truth to this. I know that all of us here are already articulated. It is not about us. It's about the message that we carry to Nigerians. And we must boldly and courageously go to Nigerians and engage them and ensure that this campaign is taken very seriously from the unit level through to our wards, our constituencies, our local governments, and across our states. Our leaders must be truthful, and they must realize that the leadership is back home and not in Abuja. And therefore, we must commit our all in goodwill to working for the presidential candidate. I was lucky to witness a very warm reception in Enugu yesterday as we consulted with our leaders in the southeast. And looking through the array of leaders that were with us, I was very convinced that PDP, as we had always expected, will win the 5 states in the southeast of this country. And I want to thank our leaders for that. I was privileged to be in Kano as we met with our south and northwest leaders. I was very impressed with what I saw. We have been to the southwest, the same very good story. And I know that as of today, and going to the elections, this party, the PDP, is the only party that is competing very strongly in every one of the 6 geopolitical zones of this country. All other political parties are either situated in 1 or 2, and they are losing grounds everywhere. But we are competing in the 6 geopolitical zones. And I'm sure that if our leaders lead this campaign in goodwill, that truly we will win in all the 6 geopolitical zones in the coming elections. Thank God for the product that we have. A man who is bold enough to promise Nigerians that is going to devote powers and resources to the sub-national governments. Not too many people will say that, but he has been consistent in this. And there lies the development of this country. It's not about being selfish. It's not about staying right there in Abuja and believing that every other state is just an appendage of the federal government. Our country will develop much better when the states control more resources and have more powers. Thank God for the state police that has been promised. Thank God because I know that our candidate has gone even much further. The legislation that will enable all this to be in place, he has already put it together. Thank God that we have a man who already has a document, my covenant with Nigerians. I challenge all other presidential candidates to present to Nigerians today their document and what they think they have for Nigeria. It's not enough to appear on television to say one thing or the other. It's not enough to be on the social media. They must commit to Nigerians what they want to do so that they can be judged going into the future and we can ask questions as to how they want to get there. My covenant with Nigerians is a document that has a road path to our success story, and everything is contained in there in a summary form. I believe that Nigerians are lucky at this moment, when all things appear to be bad, to have somebody who stands tall, who has an understanding, and who is ready to take us out of where we are today. May God bless this country as a vote for Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. I thank you so much, and I pray that as leaders, we will truly commit to that and go back home to truly get in the votes. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We thank the vice presidential candidate in coming. Thank you, sir. With a legislator as vice president, it is now time, Your Excellencies, Mr. Chairman, sir, to 2023 to take this very bit. Nigeria, Atiku Niko, Nigeria, only Atiku we know. Senator
Atiku, clap your hands. If you vote Atiku, clap your hands. If you vote OKOWA, if you vote OKOWA, clap your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment. The little boy from Jada, who moved around barefooted, single child of his mother, rose from a child to become a custom officer, became a governor, and today, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the most experienced of all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, if you agree with me, you will jam your hands together for the man who can sign, he can sign 10 papers in 1 minute. We are happy in PDP that we don't have a presidential aspirant that will take 10 minutes to sign 1 document. Atiku will sign 10 documents in 1 minute. Please clap for Atiku. Do you know Atiku OKOWA on their way to Villa? I know Atiku OKOWA on their way to. Do you know Atiku OKOWA on their way to Villa? I know Atiku OKOWA. You know, say OKOWA a gentleman. You know, go like make I talk some things. But do you know Tinubu on his way to Iraq PG? I know Tinubu on his way to Iraq PG. Ladies and gentlemen, because of time, we're not going to waste our time. We have all the 6 geopolitical zones here represented today. If I call your zone and you know that you have resolved for Atiku OKOWA, just stand up and shout Atiku OKOWA. So we're going to start Northwest, Northwest, North Central, I bet that's my zone. North Central. Correct. Northeast. Endorsed. Southeast. Yes. South. South. Southwest. With this, it shows that the 6 zones of this country have endorsed Atiku OKOWA as President and Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For want of time, we will waste no time. I want to invite to the microphone one single Nigerian with multiple competencies, a man indoctrinated with the art of civil administration and the rudiment of politics, Atiku Abubakar, the pacifier. The pacifier, the amplifier, and the unifier. Atiku!
Finally, PDP is taking over, finally. Atiku Abubakar is taking over, finally. Finally. Are you sure that you didn't say? PDP is taking over, finally. Finally. All this Cambodia, they say. Atiku Abubakar is taking over, finally. All the states in Nigeria, I say now PDP get them. I sort of now we get them.
Your Excellencies, my wife's here, Your Excellency Vice President Namadi Sambo, Your Excellencies, our governors and former governors, senators, distinguished members or honorable members of the House of Representatives, both current and former, our candidates. Can we have some silence this way, please? Can we have some silence this way, please? We have been sitting here to witness 2 events. One was the book presentation. I have always tried to shy away from public presentation on books, either on me or that I have helped to write. But I couldn't escape this one. And this is simply because my former governor, Governor Boni Haruna, got involved. And he has a way of influencing me in one way or the other. So I couldn't escape today's event. I want to thank the committee members for the work they have done. But I am not a believer of public presentation on books. But in the course of his speech, Boni tried to go personal in our relationship. I have no alternative other than also to go a bit personal or private in our relationship. When Boni became the governor, I'm still not happy with the left of this side. Too much noise is coming from this left. I said to him, Boni, I know, having been a teacher and a public servant, when you become a governor, the first thing you do, you think of how to build a house and own a Jeep or a car. I don't want you to think about that. I'm going to build a house for you, and I'm going to buy a Jeep for you. And I built a house for him, and I also bought a Jeep for him, while he still lives. It is simply because I did not want him to indulge in public finances. So, Your Excellency, since you decided to go a bit personal or private in our relationship, I thought I should also respond. Having said that, let me now go to why we are here at this moment. I decided to make only one speech because I was told after the book presentation I was to make a speech and then reappear again when the council is inaugurated. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you all to today's inauguration. We are all gathered here for the inauguration of the Presidential Campaign Council set up by our great party, the People's Democratic Party, to diligently prosecute and win the general elections slated for February and March 2023. Even though this body is nominally styled Presidential Campaign Council, in reality, it is a General Elections Council as stated by the chairman of the Presidential Council himself. Because of what use or benefit is a victory of the presidential candidate alone, without a sweeping victory for all our other candidates at all of the elections taking place next year. I cannot govern alone. Majority of the people gathered here today are, like me, seasoned politicians with nothing but pure politics flowing through their veins for the love of their country and people. What is the number of one job of a politician like you and I? It is to navigate the murky waters of politics and to campaign for and win elections. So the inauguration of a Presidential Campaign Council as the one we are all gathered here to witness today should be a normal occurrence in the normal life of normal politicians. But today is not an ordinary day. And the inauguration of today of our Presidential Campaign Council is not an ordinary event. Far from it. In May 2015, our great party, the People's Democratic Party, in an orderly, peaceful, and rancor-free manner, handed over the reins of government at the center to the opposition party, the APC, having lost the presidential elections a few months earlier. 4 years later, in 2019, and in spite of the drift, economic dissolution, challenges of insecurity, and massive dislocations to the lives of our citizens witnessed under the APC government in those years, and notwithstanding that our great party had put before the Nigerian people a demonstrably better plan for recovery and development of our nation, our party was once again skinned out in the elections held that year in the most devious manner. It is a testament to the patriotism, dedication to constitutionalism, and law and order, and the unshakable belief in the rule of law and the supremacy of the cause in our land that our great party, the PDP, chose and pursued redress in the one and only way laid down by law and our Constitution through the courts. Of course, you all know how that ended, so there is no need to bore you with details. Since the loss at the pulse of 2019 till now, and under the watch of the current APC government, our dear country has witnessed a frightening descent into anarchy. To start with, the current government has failed at the very essence of what makes a government, the security of lives and property of its citizens. Our security challenges are legion, and I do not need to rehash them here. Everybody has testified to that. Our economy is in shambles. Growth has stagnated, and our people are facing massive existential challenges daily and can barely make ends meet. Our nation is in disarray. The fabric of unity that binds our country is today being torn apart by mutual distrust, ethnic and sectarian strife, and we are now more disunited than we have ever been in our history, including even when we fought a civil war. Our educational system is comatose. Nothing more underscores this than the twin embarrassing facts of the number of children that are currently out of school, 20 million according to UNESCO, and the length of time that university students have been kept out of their classrooms this year as a result of the ASU strike. Our system of government is broken. Our current system is unfair, unwieldy, towards favoring the federal government at the expense of the other federating units, and has in itself become a willing tool for underdevelopment and corruption. This kind of system of government is no longer suited to the challenges of a 21st century economy that works for everyone and that is needed to bring development closer to our people. But all hope is not lost. We have a plan to address these issues and to arrest the drift of our nation. These plans have been laid out in my policy proposals titled My Covenant with Nigerians. Our plans for Nigeria and Nigerians are as follows: to restore Nigeria's unity through equity, social justice, mutual collaboration, and consensus among our diverse peoples. 2, to build a strong and effective democratic government where the safety and security of our people and their property is our primary and singularly most important responsibility. 3, to establish a strong, resilient, inclusive, and prosperous economy that generates opportunity, jobs, and wealth, rebuilds a vibrant middle class, and lifts millions of our poor out of poverty. To encourage the adoption of a true federal system where all the federating units are equal and has a fair and representative federal government that secures our borders, defends our people, and ensures national unity, while allowing the federating units to develop and grow in line with priorities which they have set on their own. To redevelop, invest, and strengthen our educational system in order to provide its recipients with the education and skills needed to compete in the new global order driven by innovation, science, and technology, as well as to live healthy, productive, and meaningful lives. To undertake these tasks, the members of our great party, the PDP, have graciously granted me the ticket to lead the party in next year's presidential elections, with the singular mandate to come and lead the efforts to cure these ills. So, what is our task that we are gathered here today to undertake? It is beyond merely coming together to inaugurate Presidential Campaign Council. No. Our task today is to come together to rescue and rebuild our beloved country, Nigeria. That is the end goal. It is existential to us as a nation, and it is a task that history beckons upon us all to grasp with both hands and undertake with vigor and zeal. But to rescue and rebuild our country, we must first take over the mantle of leadership from the party that has driven us into this mess. To do this, we must all be united in purpose and come together to fight and win all the elections slated next year. Every single person who loves this country, as I do, and I swear, is needed for the arduous task that faces us ahead as a nation, and this includes every member of our great party, the PDP. It is my fervent hope and prayer that every man and woman of goodwill will join hands with us to help rescue, rebuild, and reposition our beloved country, Nigeria. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the distinguished members of our Presidential Council, it is in the light of all I have said about that I want you to view today's inauguration. The tasks ahead may appear daunting. They may seem a load too heavy to bear. But for the sake of our country, and for the sake of our children, and for the sake of generations yet unborn, we must not, even for 1 minute, shirk in the responsibilities that we have been entrusted with to come together to rebuild this beloved country of ours. I wish to congratulate all the men and women nominated to serve in the Presidential Campaign Council. You have been selected from among the millions of our party members to join this esteemed council because of your past contributions to the party. Naturally, not all members of our party can be in the Presidential Campaign Council, but every single member of the PDP is an important member of the party, and each one of you is still entrusted with the responsibility of leading our party to victory in next year's elections. Those of you who have not found yourselves in the Presidential Campaign Council are just as important as those who have, and we do not take your contributions for granted. I wish you all the very best in your endeavors, and I welcome you all as you join me to lead the efforts to win next year's general elections and help rebuild our country. Together, as one, we can get this job done. May God guide and bless us all, and may God guide and bless our dear country, Nigeria. PDP! PDP! Power to the people! Power to the PDP! Thank you very much.
Finally, Atiku Abubakar is taking over finally.
From the presidential campaign, from the composition of presidential campaign council, you can see that there is no other party to be compared with PDP. It is only PDP in the present-day Nigeria can assemble those quality of people with political experience covered in all 36 states plus FCT, people of what they say, timber and caliber and political gurus. I am quite happy and delighted to be part of that presidential council team. When you talk about structure of the highest layers, that it is. And you can see also this is done timely within the timetable of INEC. And today we're here for the inauguration. It is really very, very remarkable. It shows organization, it shows strength, it shows good sense of purpose, and I really think that things are happening in the right direction for PDP to come together, get organized, and then come back to the leadership of this country.
And then what are we going to be seeing moving forward? The campaigns have kick-started.
Well, we are going to start everything in top gear. Preparations are on top gear. I'm a member of the Presidential Campaign Council, and my governor, Governor Ortom Emmanuel, is the chairman of Presidential Campaign Council. Of course, everybody is waiting anxious to see a change in Nigeria. We are suffering too much. The suffering is too much. So from today, you see a difference because the presidential candidate has all it takes to reposition Nigeria. And from what we have seen, from what we have heard from his presidents and his pedigree, we know that he takes Nigeria to a higher height. And there is hope for this country. I stand for the rescue mission. I'm supporting the rescue mission. Every one of us here in this hall, and of course outside, you see, the crowd outside are more than those inside this ICC center. So,
finally, is the PDP threatened by the OB movement and of course the APC government?
I'm not aware of any movement. I'm talking about PDP and our supporters. We are going to mobilize Nigerians because there's something that needs to change. We don't even need to campaign so much because the APC has failed.
Oh,